pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll be careful about that. Okay, are there any changes to the, good morning, Des Moines County Board of Supervisors, October 15th, 2024. We're gonna hurry through this earlier. I have an auditor that needs to get back to the election. Anyway, everything changes to the tentative agenda. Meet with department heads, elected officials. Sarah Doty, Des Moines County Auditor.
Good morning. Very busy. Tomorrow begins absentee voting. So in the morning, we have so far 2,359 absentee ballots that will be going in the mail. I just picked up a huge stack of mail, so we have more that'll be coming in throughout the day, but so far that's what we have. Absentee voting will begin in the office tomorrow, and it will continue through the day before the election, so the 4th. Just busy getting everything prepped and ready.
Okay. Does Tess have any last minute questions before she disappears into the auditor's office?
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, guys.
Colin Hurst, IT.
Good morning. Just keep busy like always. Doing a lot of running around. Nothing new to report.
Thank you, Colin. Kevin Glendenning, Des Moines County Sheriff.
Good morning. We're plenty busy as well, but really no major news for the board. Our jail population was 112 adults, a little over 30 out of county, but we have like 6 that are heading out today. Going to prison, returning one back to another institution, so we'll see that come down just a little bit, but we remain high.
Okay. Thank you, Sheriff.
Yes, sir.
Jaron Laster, Land Use.
Morning. Well, for land use, we're keeping busy as usual. Nothing really important to mention, and we don't have anything on the agenda, so I don't really have anything to highlight. So.
Thank you, Jared. Trent Hickelbeck, Des Moines County Attorney's Office.
Sure. So Lisa's up in trial today. She's got a sovereign citizen. So that's somebody who doesn't believe
Oh, yeah.
the state of Iowa was properly inducted into the United States. So they're trying to use the UCC, Uniform Commercial Code, as a defense to
Oh, that's gonna be good.
their criminal crimes. So if anybody has a minute and wants something to look at,
It's like real TV that we do a lot.
Hey, they got popcorn in there, don't they?
well, no, but it should be good. And then speaking of the courtroom and the election, so the next 3 Mondays, because of voting here in the courthouse, we'll be having court service downstairs instead of on the 2nd floor, so we should be out of everybody's way. And then for the IPEB complaints from the closed meeting 2 weeks ago,
Oh, yeah.
you guys acted on my recommendation, and I was thinking just of the most recent request we had come in. But it was, and you guys did talk about the policies overall. So Colin was right when you asked, should it be for legal and security? And I'm thinking just, we had that one request where they're requesting information about our employees and employee contact information. And I'm like, I don't even know if Back the Blue's in part of an IPIB, one of those lettered waivers yet. So I'm like, just take this and go on. So anyways, our answer's due today, and we should have had an open meeting. So I'm gonna recommend that we go ahead and post that meeting on the minutes, and however you guys wanna do it, or however Sarah wants to do it, either for last 2 weeks ago when it happened, or put it on this one, however you guys wanna do that. But put it on the website so it's available. And I know one of the complainants was asking for basically everybody in the room to have IPIB training, and having listened to the hearing, or listened to the meeting, probably half an hour of it was IPIB training, so I think we've already got, and that's gonna be in my response when I send it up as well. Any questions?
The important one, does this mean you're the one that goes to jail?
Well, it could be, I mean, yeah, I mean, it was my mistake, you guys did what you're supposed to, you asked me, I looked, and I'm thinking, okay, yeah, we just got another one of
Good
these
question,
requests.
Thomas.
And, so, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it's my fault, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Somebody needs held accountable.
Well said, Casey. Man, this meeting's going
I hope it
good.
goes peacefully.
That's gonna be a great
He
day.
may not have a spot for you.
Another one out of county.
Oh, shoot.
Thank you, Trent. Now, do we, and I guess I'm not completely clear on this, do we have a decision to make? Do we just say, put it on the website, or, I didn't quite understand. When you said to
I think we
post.
should go ahead and put it on the website. I mean, due to the, because it was in the Hawkeye, and from that article, we've had 3 IPIB complaints.
Mhm.
So clearly the public wants to know what happened in that meeting, so we might as well put it out there for everybody to.
And I agree, put it on the website, but you said whether it be this week or next week, so I didn't, is that on,
Well,
like on an,
wherever, because you know how so if you wanted to go in and listen to our meetings, you can listen to them live,
uh-huh.
or you can go later and tap on it and you can watch it. So whether we want to put it tagged to the meeting when it happened, or if we want to tag it to where it's with the date, today's date, I don't, it doesn't matter.
So put the audio out there,
But put the audio out there, yeah,
is what you're saying.
So there is audio that exists from
Yeah.
that closed
Oh, yeah.
session.
yes, yeah.
So I guess it doesn't make any difference to me, I don't see much difference where we put it on this meeting or the meeting that happened, attach that to the audio, what's gonna be more transparent?
Everything you have, obviously, but
Well, no, I
I have
said
a
we-
question
Uh-huh.
for
Sure.
Trent. Will they be required to publish those minutes then, as you would a regular session that's already public?
I mean, that's not a bad idea, I don't know how many, I haven't looked at minutes, I don't know how many minutes there are. But that, I mean, we can look into that, I mean, I've never had one before where we went into closed session. Cause what happened was, we had a request come through, and it's one of these what I would call industrial requests, where you have a private company and they were asking for all of the, everybody we did business with over the period of time, which is a typical request, but what was unique about this one was then they asked for all, the names of all of our employees and contact information for all of our employees. And that I wanted more time to be able to look at and be like, what, you know, 'cause that's like, wait a second. So that's what I was thinking, that's why I'm like, yeah, you guys can talk about this request, and is it confidential that, you know, the contact information for our employees, and we have the new Back to Blue law, because most of our contact information is already available on the website. But individual officers or deputies are not, is that correct?
Correct.
And that's really that was my question. So, but these guys are thinking, and it's right, I remember, it's like Stephen Covey, if you read that book in the 80s, I'm dating myself here, but he would talk about, you know, all these people in the woods, you know, sharpening saws, chopping down trees, putting up ladders, doing that, and you need people up there saying, hey, go this direction, not that direction. And that's what these guys were trying to do. They're like, okay, how do we handle the next one and the one going forward? And I'm, you know, right now, we're down two out of 6 attorneys. So we're down a third of our office, and I'm just like worried about
I have a
what's on the
suggestion.
desk.
What if it's an audio file, that'd be the correct term, the audio file. What if we attach it to this meeting and the meeting where it occurred?
We could.
Since it was discussed in both,
Yeah.
that way, you don't, if you see it referenced in one meeting, you don't have to go looking for it, it would be attached to that meeting. So we can attach it to both meetings, the audio file, we can, Colin, we can do that, can't we, before I overload us?
I don't know, on the county's website, I think you can only attach the one audio, because we've had issues before where we had multiple audio files, and my office had to combine them into one, so we post them on the website, so,
We'll have to give it a name and have it separate then.
Yeah, if
from
it
this
have to be
meeting.
labeled.
I mean, we could
In order to put another audio out there, it's gonna have to look like there were two meetings.
Yeah. I don't know, I'd have to look into it, if we can attach it. I mean, obviously, we can just attach it to the meeting date that we had, the closed session. I can the audio file that's on there.
Could we attach,
You can.
well,
Yeah.
brainstorm, right, could we attach it to the meeting where it was held and then have another attachment to this meeting and say, the audio file is available on the, when it was September 15th meeting, whatever it would have been, so that they know where to go?
I think that's sufficient, as long as you give direction.
Okay, so anyway, so we
Why
attach
we
the
need to
original.
attach it to both, but.
If we attach the audio file to the meeting where that occurred, and then we put another file or a note or something on this meeting that said, you know, the audio file of the, discussion in the meeting of October 15th is available on September 15th or whatever it was.
Yeah, no problem, yeah, we can do that.
Does that sound like it would work? Well, I'm just trying to come up with, if you can't, so let's do that. If it's a problem, I'm sure I'll hear about it.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Trevor. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't have a question, I just, maybe it's a question, I don't know, but when the request was made compared to what you based your decision on, they don't look like the same thing. You know, Colin made the request for this blanket, we're getting these data mining companies coming at us and we need to set policy and we need a closed session, but your decision is made on protecting individual county employees.
Right, no,
Correct.
you're spot on, yeah, that's
And
what happened.
so, those don't really jive, because it looks like, on its face, you're going into closed session to talk about open public records, which seems kind of an oxymoron. So, you know, I don't know, the Hawkeye was one of the three that filed the complaint, and I'm not unaware of the other two, but,
Shane?
well, one of them was,
I'm sorry, it's hard for me to be serious. for
one of
anybody
them
who don't
was the
make time.
IPIB director, Randy Evans, and the third one was also someone locally, but I'm not completely aware of actually who it was. It doesn't really matter, it's just that there were three, and I agree with you.
Mhm.
But, you know, it just, the request was made, and it just doesn't really jive with the decision, so it appears that there's things that weren't made public in the first request. You know, you're talking about, the request was, we've got these data mining companies coming at us and wanting all this information. And, but then on the back end of it, it appears that there's been requests for individual.
So when you say request, you're talking about request for meeting. When I
Right,
say request, I'm talking about a request for information.
okay, all right. All right, so that is that does clarify things for me, thank you.
Thanks for coming, Trent. I'd have been hard pressed to explain any of that. Okay, we're good for now. Shannon Prado, Emergency Management Coordinator.
I have, after that, I have nothing exciting to add.
That a girl.
Yeah.
Angie
You
Vaughn.
know what? I'm sorry. I do have one exciting thing to add. My Start Academy is coming up. Start Academy will be the first two Saturdays in November. Start Academy is a chance for people of the county or surrounding counties to come and learn different things about disaster preparedness. If they'd like to join CERT at the end of it, they're welcome to, but there's different topics such as disaster psychology, search and rescue, terrorism, there's a fire controls unit,
The press might wanna know what CERT stands for.
Community Emergency Response Team,
Thank you.
yes. So, so it's the first 2 Saturdays in November. That will be held at the West Burlington Fire Department from 8 to 5.
Thank you, Shannon.
Yeah.
Angie Vaughn, Safety Director.
Good morning. I have nothing to add, just keep them busy, doing what we normally do.
Okay, I'm gonna jump in here. Chris Lee, Conservation.
Chris Lee says he won't make today's meeting. His only update is that they have 600 people that attended the big Halloween event on Saturday. And they have fall color runs every week this month at Stars Cave starting this Thursday. I'm sorry, it was 400 at Big Hollow, not 600, so that's.
It was at 50%.
We were 2 of those 400 in the last.
Thank you, Chris. Natalie Steffner, DuPage County Recorder.
Good morning. Everything's good in the recorder's office. Just one update. Passports are now only taking 4 to 6 weeks. They were 6 to 8 weeks. So if you're going to be traveling, I guess this winter, you still want to go ahead and get in and apply for those. But otherwise, everything's good.
Thank you, Natalie. Krista Pogemiller, I heard you have a new building.
We do.
Michelle.
Good morning, yes, we are very excited. Our new building opened up for services as of yesterday. Last week was our ribbon cutting and we had a good turnout, so thank you everyone who attended. We've just been keeping busy. We've got 80 years worth of treasures we're working our way through, so lots of files, lots of extra things that we ran across. So, and thank you to Rodney and Colin and their teams for all the work they've done, because we've kept them very busy, moving boxes, moving equipment, so yeah, very excited. So if you haven't come out to see the new building, definitely stop by and take a look.
Thank you, Krista. Rodney Bleachner, Maintenance Director.
Good morning. As Chris said, I gotta thank my team. They've done a great job getting stuff moved over from the old health department to the new health department, so we still got stuff to go through and to move, but they've done a fantastic job, so I really appreciate my guys and all they do. Also, thank Colin and his crew, helping kind of move a lot of the computer stuff and getting that all set up, so that helped take a load off of us, and Chris's staff as well moved a lot of stuff. So it's definitely a team effort with all the departments working together, getting stuff out there, so appreciate everybody's help on making that transition fairly smooth. So we still got little bugs to work out here and there, but other than that, things are going well. Other than that, really nothing new to report. Thank you.
Thank you, Rodney. And thanks for all you did for all the public health.
Thank you.
Brian Carter, Secondary Roads.
I'll follow up on that. I was out the ribbon cutting, took a little detour or a little look through the building, a little tour I should say, and a really nice building. That's a very long, complicated process, and it's almost simplified when you get to look around a new building. So compliments to Rodney. I know he spent a ton of time out there, and it looks really nice, and I think part of that is because of his efforts. And I know Chris is already looking forward to it, and I think in the end, I think it was a good choice by the board. I think that was, obviously we all know that was desperately needed for that area and for the clientele they serve, so. And it's a great location too, so, but it can be forgotten how long ago that started and where we started and the RFQ process and getting the consultants and everything else, and all that work ended up with what it was, so it all adds up. So, so anyway, that was a nice improvement for the county, I feel like. As far as the roads go, I did have a couple questions I wanted to just address, nothing major. I got hit up by a citizen. She causes quite a bit of trouble. But she was asking about the clearance on the temporary lights that we have set up on Beaverdale, and hoping she could knock them over with a camper or something. But I do have,
I wonder who that
I do have updated information on that, and it is a 16-foot clearance on those lights. So I think,
I need
unless she's
6 more
gonna.
inches, please.
I think unless she's gonna stand on top of the camper, it should go underneath those babies, cause 16 foot, you said 13.6.
Is that who he's
No.
referring to?
You
Yours
said-
is 13.6.
You said 13.6.
Yes, never mind.
Not to give it away. You kinda gave yourself up.
No, Dave, I'll let my husband know.
And on YouTube.
Text him, would you? I've never been asked that, so
Now you
anyway,
know.
16-foot clearance, there you go. Our guys are working on the bridge on Beaverdale Road, that's the one on the paved portion. And it's my fault they're still there because they did a really nice job. Sometime when I have you guys out and about, they were basically underneath there with no room to work. We had some erosion that had come up underneath the south abutment and had the piling exposed and stuff, and it was finally dry enough we could work underneath there, and they built a form to allow flowable to get underneath the bridge and fill that void. So that part of it's done. Well, then I said, while we're here.
Are they done now?
That part's done, but then I said, while we're here, why don't we do a little bit more? So they're working on the more at the moment, and it's tedious at the moment, so.
I got surprised with that this morning. I gave my little bridge report, but I didn't mention that.
Well,
So I
the
went
bridge is-
into
this bridge is
the
open, which
breakout
is-
sat next to somebody that said, by the way.
Yeah. Sorry. So we should have been done last week, but that's what happens when I give them more work. So, credit to them, they'll get it done, they'll do a good job with it, but.
Will they have it done today or tomorrow?
I think they'll be doing darn good to get it done by the end of this week, if you want
Okay.
my opinion. I mean, they tend to finish things faster than I expect them to, so,
That's good.
but it's just kinda tedious. If you drive that bridge, the curbs are all eroded from salt over time, and we're gonna try to put a face back on those curbs to buy some more life on that, so kinda minimize the future corrosion, so, some custom concrete forming is what they'll be doing, that they didn't foresee last week coming at them. But anyway, I would also mention, I received an email at the office, from a gentleman that had driven through Middletown. There's a bump in the eastbound lanes, it's been there for honestly as long as I can remember. It's rough, but it's a 25-mile speed limit. I've literally never had anybody really complain about it on the road being rough. We had a gentleman email and ask how soon we were gonna replace it. He said that it knocked his shock off or something to that effect, which I'm.
On his BMW.
Yeah, I'm assuming he had some mechanical issues or he had a speed issue because at 25 it shouldn't have done what it did. But anyway, that's getting replaced next year during our project that we've been talking about forever. So that asphalt job that's going through town, we're actually gonna saw cut that out and do a full depth patch there, so
Kevin,
that will be.
plug your ears a minute, Kevin. I got that same email, so I run up to 40 miles an hour so I could hit that bump.
Uh-huh,
School bus.
yeah,
It
I
is what it is.
I gotta believe he had a mechanical issue beyond that, but either way, I'm glad he reached out, so we could let him know that we're gonna get it replaced. So I don't know the gentleman, but I did email him back, so you guys know, cause I know he turned around and emailed you guys too. I didn't realize he wanted to reply, his email just wanted to let us know he had some damage and hoped that we'd get it replaced, and we are going to replace it, so. So anyway, just a note on that, I guess I'll follow that up. That is one of 4 projects. It's been a very, very busy summer between our office and our consulting office. We have 2 bridges and 2 asphalt jobs jumping into the January letting for the DOT. So that's, I don't know what the final total will be on that, but that's probably pushing $8 million of work. So that's a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So I should give credit to my office because they don't get nearly enough of it for getting that stuff ready and out the door. The 2 bridges we have closed and have had closed. Glad to say the light at the end of the tunnel is finally there. When I started this whole thing, I'll own it, I truly thought we'd open those right around the end of September. We just clipped the front end of harvest and life would be good, and then we had late planting season, and you would think of late harvests, and then we quit getting rain, and it was hot, and next thing you know, harvest is gonna be almost done, if not done, before we open these things. But so that's what I get for trying to guesstimate. opening, but, the Highway 99 bridge should open in the middle of next week. And concrete will be done, might be done today, actually. I think they're gonna pour at 10, I think that wraps up. But then that's gotta cure out, you've gotta get some shaping done, then you gotta get the guardrail in, pavement markings and seam. So there's some stuff there to wrap up, but should be the middle of next week for that one. I told Tom that I think first week in November is probably reasonable for the Upper Flint Bridge. There's a slight chance it could go sooner, it should go a little more efficiently because the bridge contractor's actually fully moved out of the way. So we'll see how quick the sub-consultants can jump in there, but it will be a little bit behind, somewhere between 1 and 2 weeks. And then the last thing I wanna mention is 260th Street, which the area I'm talking about, if you go all the way up to the north end of the county, off of Highway 61 to the east, if you know where I'm talking, 260th Street's a gravel road, and it's kind of a hill, curve and a hill and all that sort of stuff. That's where the DOT is working on their 4-lane grading, their PCI, the DOT's contractors. That's the area where they're working on that northern section of 4-lane. They are, the DOT, the contractor, they're closing that tomorrow. Similar to how they closed intersections all the way up and down during the first phase of all the work they've done. They're going to, if you've been there, their dirt operations have shifted to the south end of that project. So, and that's an area where you can't cross safely for traffic because of the alignment of the road. So they're gonna close that from now until possibly Thanksgiving. So to give you, we're sending out a press release today so that it's formally out there as a closure and everything. That way emergency response and such will know. We've let some of the immediate farmers know. And then we sent a preliminary press release. We created one and just mailed it out to some of the local residents. Not a mass mailing, but just to get the word out there so they'd have a heads up. And then the DOT's agreed to pay for some limited dust control in that area also. So we spent a good part of the morning yesterday marking that out, and my assistant's out today, starting at 10 o'clock with the dust control company, and they're gonna come treat in front of houses and intersections and stuff, kind of on so 260th Street runs over the Northfield, and then Northfield comes all the way down to Mediapolis Road, and there's a couple connector roads in there. So we're gonna just hit some of the most likely spots to pick up some extra traffic in that area, so. Maybe that's a positive with harvest being towards the end of it, there'll be a little bit less traffic, but there's still some harvest traffic and stuff, so that'll help with, it should be about a 5 or 6 week closure is what they're estimating right now. So just if you guys hear something, probably just holler at me so I can explain to somebody, but that's what's going on. It's not our project, but since they're gonna reimburse for dust control, we got that laid out and then it'll get done. And that way, some of those houses and stuff will have a little bit of extra dust there that they would have experienced. So I guess I did wanna mention that also. Other than that, that's all I have.
Thank you, Brian. Okay. Correspondence. Did either of you gentlemen have any correspondence? I have none. Proceed to discussion and vote. We have accounts payable claims in the amount of $1,107,708.62.
Move to approve. Second.
Cheryl?
Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Shane McCampbell?
Yes.
Tom Broker?
Yes. We have payroll reimbursement claims in the amount of $419.83 and non-cash taxable reimbursement for $57.14.
Motion to approve.
Cheryl?
Shane McCampbell?
Yes.
Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Tom Broker?
Yes. We have approval of a memorandum of understanding with the city of Burlington for the asphalt project on Des Moines County Highway 99. I believe this is the one you mentioned meetings previous.
We've talked about this previously, as you'll notice, it's running through you guys first, I'll take it over and drop it off with, City Public Works, and they'll run it through their council. This was what everybody agreed to, it's a little different version from what Danville was. It's what worked for Burlington, it didn't matter to me, either way, just two different ways of going about it, so, in the end, they're paying for a very small percentage of the project, which covers the work there on that south end. And so I would recommend approval. There are two originals. I'll take both those originals and leave a copy with Cheryl, and we'll take those originals to the city. They'll run it through their process, and then we'll have an approved MOU.
Just calls for a signature. Do you want a stamp?
You can, as long as you stay down at the bottom, you can do whatever you want. So yes, the chairman signs it on this. This is just the form we've always used.
Yep.
And then the board can absolutely stamp it initial, that's fine. So,
Motion to approve?
Second?
Cheryl?
Shane McCampbell?
Yes.
Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Tom Broker?
Yes.
I don't remember the exact amount, but it's not a whole lot, I don't have the number, I wanna say 70,000 and change or something like that, and I'm sure I'm off, but it's not a gigantic dollar amount of work.
We have a Class C liquor license for your private bartender at the Barn on the Ridge for 5 days from October 18th to October 22nd. Sheriff, I suspect this is okay?
No issues on that.
Move to approve then.
Second?
Cheryl?
Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Shane McCampbell?
Yes.
Tom Broker?
Yes.
Didn't Tina Turner sing a song? I'm your private bartender.
I don't remember that one.
Man, it's a different song.
Let's keep it that way though.
Excuse me, Natalie? Don't bring me down, it's way too early in the day.
I'm no better.
Okay, we have a Class C liquor license for R&D Operations Limited, the Myers Wedding Barn, for 5 days, effective November 7th through November 11th, and I suspect there's no problem with this one.
No issues there as well.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Motion to approve?
Second?
Cheryl?
Shane McCampbell?
Yes.
Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Tom Broker?
Yes. We have personnel actions. We have 3 for the correctional center. We have James Pleasant, a correctional officer, a 36 months anniversary step increase. The previous rate was $53,287.41. The new rate is $54,336.04. We have Andrew Brown, correctional officer, a 12-month step increase. Previous rate was $49,868.07. The new rate is $51,128.19. And Owen Stewart, correctional officer, 12-month step increase. Previous rate was $49,868.07. The new rate is $51,128.19.
Motion to approve all 3.
Second?
Cheryl?
Shane McCampbell?
Yes.
Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Tom Broker?
Yes. We have one for DESCOM. We have Travis Oliver, a telecommunicator 1. Moving to step B after 1 year service. The previous rate was $22.40. The new rate is $24.66 an hour.
Move to approve?
Second?
Cheryl?
Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Shane McCampbell?
Yep.
Tom Broker?
Yes. We have reports. We have the Clerk of Courts report of fees collected September 2024. and the sheriff's report of fees collected for September 2024. These reports will be on file at the auditor's office and available for public review at your convenience. We have minutes for the regular meeting of October 8th, 2024.
Motion to approve minutes.
Second?
Cheryl?
Shane McCampbell.
Yes.
Jim Carrey.
Yes.
Tom Broger.
Yes. Any other business?
I have none.
Future agenda items?
I have none.
They'll come to me after the meeting. Committee reports.
I have none.
We had the Joint Safety Committee meeting, and Angie got her performance evaluation. I don't remember exactly how it went, but I've got 2 plus marks here, so evidently you did fine. And I attended a Greater Burlington Partnership, the Greater Burlington Partnership meeting this morning, and they've got a new executive director, Amy O'Brien. And then went to the economic development, and one of the things they brought up was the franchise fee that Burlington proposing. So I mentioned to him that the franchise fee would cost the county $155,000, $160,000 a year, maybe dependent when it starts out at the 3%, maybe $7,500, but maybe goes to 12.5, and we would have to pay that percentage on all the jail, the courthouse, public health, the attorney's office, everything, sheriff's office. Anyway, but it will reduce county local option sales tax revenues by $145,000, $150,000, so about 7.5% of our local option sales tax revenue will go away. And secondary roads will probably be the worst hit. And I did notice something when they were putting that stuff out. They want to get it, there's a petition going around to put it on the ballot. But if the petition doesn't get filed, then they think they can get this effective January 1st, which means we would lose half of that out of a budget we're already operating on. So I voice my opposition, as I want to do. So that's all I have. Go ahead.
Did it tell when the petition has to be in?
Well, they've got the, it's an ordinance, so there's three readings, and I believe the next week, I believe, because they had one last week, so they have a meeting every other week, it's work session, so I believe the next meeting would be the 21st. So the meeting after that, I'm gonna guess, is maybe the first Monday in November, I think, so I can't see, it looks like it might be 4, something like that. The calendar is a little outside of my range. So, that's all. So we'll go with that. So looks to me like it's 150, 160,000. At 3%, they make 1.6 million. So 10% of that will come from the county. And I don't know how much will come from the schools or the churches or the nonprofits. Anyway, that's all I have. There's just a public input. If anybody from the public would like to address the board, you can email the Board of Supervisors at board@dmcounty.com. That's BOARD@dmcounty.com. Or you can call 319-753-8203, extension 4. That's 319-753-8203, extension 4. We'll give you a couple minutes to initiate that email or that call. In the the meantime, does anybody in attendance have any comments or questions? You notice I've quit asking for complaints. Not that that seems to affect the press over here, but that's okay. Did you have it, now that I've verbally abused you, have you?
Yeah, I've heard worse. Used to work in Lee County.
Man, it's quite a crowd.
I will
Brian?
mention those asphalt jobs we're doing next summer will be one lane, they won't be full closures. So there's only one full
Okay.
closure. We are doing some local asphalt jobs as part of that, also hoping to take advantage of the prices that we hope to see with the quantity of asphalt. And one of those will have a closure, because one of those is on Tama Road back out towards 125th. We saw a couple areas of that pavement kind of start to fail when it was getting used as a detour last year for the closure on 99, or 2 years ago, whenever that was. So we're gonna do a full depth replacement out there for, probably, it's not a quarter mile, but it's a longer stretch. And that will be a full closure, but all those folks can go a different direction for the short period of time that'll be. So otherwise, there'll be traffic control, there'll be one lane, and 99 especially has a lot of patches on it, so that takes a while, but it won't be full closure like we've done some other stuff, it'll be inconvenient. So, but it won't stop the road. Same thing on 34, it'll be one lane stuff, or, well, and obviously you have some 4 lane there, so really one direction with one lane sometimes.
Hey, Brian. My sister calls me Rooster. You wanna know why?
Because?
Didn't end the meeting.
That's very silly. These meetings are starting to deteriorate a little.
I've been sitting on that one, it's great, right?
Your 2 minutes is up. Y'all have a great day.
Are you gonna adjourn?
Oh, yeah, with an I word. With the noise and sound effects, you can't even concentrate.
Well, first duck to get out of the road, that guy with that monkey.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for bringing us down, reporting, trying to bring us down, Hawkeye. Way to go.